Yes, it looks very much like arcsecant. What is the derivative of arcsecant?
It's like x over 4, right? It's like 1.
It's like 1 over absolute value x root x squared minus 1. Yeah, and there's that like kind of weird absolute value thing in there, which by the way makes like a reappearance because I wasted 5 minutes in period 3 explaining this, so this time I'm just going to tell you because it's just like not worth it. But the derivative of arcsecant of absolute value of x is just 1 over x root x squared minus 1. So it just like works out. Just like do it. It takes like 45 seconds. You split them into cases and there's like chain rule and then it just kind of like magically cancels. Okay, so yeah, Brian Mars agrees. So therefore, if I'm anti-differentiating 1 over x root x squared minus 1 dx, the answer is arcsecant absolute value x plus c. Alright, so once I recognize that some arcsecant is involved, how can I actually do the problem? Well, what is the one problem what's the one thing that's holding me back? The 16, yeah. So take care of that problem.
Yeah.
But you have to be actually quite like careful about what you're doing. I write a lot of steps.
Is equal to
More than most people. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, so I factored out a 16 inside the radical, which automatically makes that a 1 now, which is what I want it to be, right? I don't know, is this making sense? Yeah, so then that 16, the square root of 16 becomes a 4, but that 4 is in the denominator, so I can just pull that whole thing out. And then x squared over 16 can be rewritten as, oh no, x over 4 squared minus 1. Everybody following that so far? All I did was factor out a 16, double checking that I factored out correctly. 16 becomes a 4, that 4 is in the denominator, so I just pull him right out. Alright, so now, in preparation for, Rob, does this make sense? In preparation for doing a U sub, I need to do one more thing. What else should I do?
5 by 4.
Yeah, I need that x to also be x over 4, right? Right? So I'm gonna put a 4 down there because I want that to be x over 4. But by dividing by 4, I need to multiply by 4 to undo the damage. But that 4 becomes like is also in the denominator, so then it comes out also. I know I'm showing lots of steps, but I think it's actually easier the more steps you show. Because if you just do one thing per move. So there was a lot of like fancy algebra and arithmetic, and now I'm ready to actually do my U sub. So I let u be x over 4. du is 1/4 dx. I need a 1/4, so I stick it in. Undo the damage with a 4. And finally, I have 1/4 du over u root u squared minus 1. Ethan, we good?
I got it.
Yeah, cool. And I never anti-differentiate until I have it all the way down to the end. And now my answer is just 1/4 arc secant absolute value u plus c. So actual final answer, 1/4 arc secant absolute value x over 4 plus c. How are we doing with this? Basically good? Aaron Sankar, more or less good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do 23. It does look pretty tough.
Hey, my answer was also there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
You did it with like arctan. Yeah, that might have been, that probably was right. I glanced at it, but this is much easier.
Yeah, safe.
But yeah, I got it. You did some weird substitution and stuff. What? I think these problems are better if we sort of show you how to do it.
What is it good? Aren't you for root x or something? No.
Is that for
I think so.
Ron, I'm going to do this over here. Can you flip it around?
So what I did, I don't know if it's maybe if I do that, right for x. So you get negative x over 4. Rewrite that as square root of negative x over 2 square root. You get square root of a negative x with
Okay, so you can try lots and lots and lots of different things, all of which will probably fail, until you realize the correct thing to do. And yeah, you have to look at this and you have to see a pattern. The pattern is kind of vague. So this is like when people look up at the sky and they see like a bear. That's like crap, right? There's just like 6 stars. It's not a bear. Same kind of thing going on here, Stefan. The pattern is very, very tenuous. But does anyone see that this kind of actually reminds you of one of those inverse trig functions? Which one? No, arc sine. Arc sine. It doesn't, not quite at first, but if you sort of think about it, it does kind of look like an arc sine. Except what the actual variable is not clear yet because, well, okay, why does it look like arc sine? Because arc sine, oh yeah, it's up there in the corner. Arc sine is like a 1 minus x squared kind of situation. And this is sort of like a minus x squared, except the 4x is kind of like in the way. All right, so how do we do this problem? What we're going to do is complete the square. Rewrite this negative x squared plus 4 as negative x squared minus 4x. Zomp, like that.
So funny.
Okay. And then, of course, dude, what number goes here?
4.
4. Yeah, that has to be a 4. And by writing that 4 there, what have I actually done? What?
Subtracted 4.
I actually just subtracted 4 because there's a negative here. So since I just subtracted 4, I need to add 4 in the radical in the denominator. Right? Okay, now it is starting to look a lot more like arcsine because, okay, well the 2 can just come out. So this is dx over root 4 minus x minus 2 squared. So if you didn't see it before, you should see it now that this is kind of arcsine looking. Yeah? Maybe I'll just like quickly rewrite the derivative of arcsine. Alright, now there are many different things that people like to do now. Personally, I like simplicity. I'm willing to write a lot more in my paper if it means keeping things really neat. So I like to do a substitution right here for x minus 2. So if I let u be x minus 2, then du is dx. And that enables me to just simplify things a lot more, because I can write this as 2 du over root 4 minus u squared. And to me, that's just simpler and easier to work with. So I am making progress. You guys following this? Okay, and now what's the last problem I need to deal with? Oh crap, the bell's about to ring. Let's go fast. What's the last problem I need to deal with? The 4. So I just do that same thing that we kind of did before. Going fast now before the bell rings. Factor out a 4 inside the square root. That 4 becomes a 2. That 2 comes out and cancels that other 2. So it's just du over root 1 minus quantity u over 2 squared. And that I know how to deal with. Now I just need a new variable, right? I just go to w next. So let w be u over 2. dw is 1/2 du. Wait 20 more seconds. Put in a 1/2 here. Undo the damage with a 2. And now finally, it's like 2 antiderivative dw over root 1 minus w squared. And I never do the antidifferentiation until I get it all the way down to a basic form. So final answer, 2 arc sine w, which is really like arc sine x minus 2 over 2 plus c. All right, you guys got this basically.
Yes.
You will get a lot better with practice. All right, I will see you on Wednesday morning. There's a bunch of homework on Edline, on antidifferentiation, and yeah.